Okay, Sally. First of all, I would like to say you many thanks for your job, for help a lot of people. And the Inpp was established in 1975, and now it is the Inpp International with national principals in 12 countries. One of them is Russia. So they can say it's a very long and successful life. What's your opinion? Why do you believe in the Inpp method?
Well, first of all, I would say believe is perhaps not the right word for it. I am probably one of INPP's greatest skeptics, in as far as I learnt the method secondhand from Peter Blythe, who was the person who started it. And as someone coming in its first generation, I had lots of questions. Did the things that they say worked actually work? Did it show what they purported it to show, and so on? So much of my working life in the last 30 years has been not only developing the INPP method, but also investigating it and examining it to make sure that it does do what we believed it did in its early days.
Oh, it's very important. And what should the first draw the parents' attention to?
I think it depends what stage of parenting you're talking about. From the very beginning, it's making parents aware in this modern technological world of how important the whole physical and sensory and social experience is, not just in infancy, but all through childhood. That children develop as physical beings in a physical world, and although we've become ever more reliant on technology, technology is not everything, that we are, in essence, mammals. And as young mammals, we need to play, we need to experience physical things, and we need the social interaction that comes from conversation with real people and not with gadgets and machines. So that's the sort of general background. As children are growing up, it's to be aware that if a child is not achieving what you think they are capable of, to ask the question why. Is there something that's blocking them? Is it their vision? Is it their hearing? Or what we call the poor relation these days, the motor development, because it's often not considered to be that important. But motor development is actually, or motor skills are actually the medium through which a child expresses itself in an academic environment. So for example, reading requires eye movements, control of eye movements. Writing requires hand-eye coordination. And even the ability to sit still is dependent on having good posture and balance and an underlying reflex system to support it. So if a child is starting to show problems with behavior at school, difficulty sitting still or attention, or they are not learning to read or to spell or to write as would be expected, do not assume this is simply because the child can't or the child is being naughty. Ask the question why and seek out those professionals who will investigate these underlying factors further to see if they can identify if and what the underlying problem is.
So it's very important things. And how do you see the further development of the Inpp method?
I would hope now we've done the groundwork over many years that it will become more accepted in what I'd call mainstream channels. So the assessment protocols that we use came directly from mainstream medicine. And that means that if another medical professional, a physiotherapist, a pediatrician, occupational therapist carried out those tests, they should come up with exactly the same results as we do. So this method sort of sits between different professional disciplines. The assessment comes from the medical modality. The intervention is more akin to mainstream physiotherapy or occupational therapy. The application of it is to educational or behavioural problems. So it spans those disciplines of medicine, education, psychology. And somewhere I would like to see it either fit into one of those or to be recognised as a new discipline and profession on its own, whereby parents or schools can seek out a practitioner trained in the assessment and intervention of neuromotor problems and have their child assessed and an intervention program implemented.
Okay, and now the Russians will also have the opportunity to try and make their lives more successful for you using the Inpp method. What will you wish them?
I would wish them what I would wish for all the countries where INPP is currently in use, is that it provides them with a tool with which to identify children who are underachieving without anyone recognising, and to help put those problems right before this becomes a long-term underachievement or failure. And to give those children who are already doing reasonably well, but perhaps not working to potential, the ability to succeed to their level of potential.
Sally, thank you very much for your answers, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
you.